decided to break up today's vlog into two sections. I don't even know if I should call them vlogs anymore. One being my thoughts on September 11th and what happened to me that day. And I don't know if you noticed, I did try to edit it so it won't make me so weepy, but that was difficult for me to record just because it is such a huge, it did make such a huge emotional impact on me. And I'm an emotional person. I cry all the time. Well, not all the time, whatever. But so I was thinking about, so as I was recording, I was thinking about the people on the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania, and how many of them were calling their loved ones. They were saying goodbye to their loved ones and letting them know what was going on. And it has to have been difficult for both the person calling and the person on the other side of the phone, on the other side of the line, to hear that last goodbye from someone that is your family has to be absolutely terrifying. I could never even imagine, which is going to lead into my topic today of family. Just because not only have I really been thinking about this, I watched a bunch of CNN stuff today for remembering 9/11, and it just happened to be on when I was at the dentist office, and they had me waiting in the chair for like 30 minutes. And in our dentist office, you know, you're in the chair and they actually have the TV. I don't know if a lot of places have that now, but you know, I was there and I was waiting, and the technician was telling me, you know, oh, don't worry about this. You can change this if you don't want to watch it. It's just the news. And I'm not gonna lie, I did consider it, but then I was just like, you know what, I want to see what's going on. I want to see what they're doing and what's I want to see how they're going to remember today. And up in New York City, they didn't invite any politicians, which is, I guess, the first time they've done that since September 11th. I know last year they had the unveiling of the memorial, but this year they didn't invite any politicians. They had the families of loved ones reading the names of the fallen. And it got me thinking. That coupled with this past weekend has just got me thinking about family in general, not just, I mean, the term, the meaning, and my own family. It just seemed like it was an appropriate topic for today. So, most of you know my biological family, we'll say, the four of us, are my parents and my brother and I. And in my last vlog, or a couple of vlogs ago, or even if you know me in person, you know that there is somebody that I call my sister. No, we're not related by blood. She's technically my god sister, but she's been there for me since high school. I mean, I love her like she is my sister. I assume she loves me like her sister too, considering I spend 3 days a week at their house and she has yet to kick me out. But I do. I love her like she's my sister, and I love her family like they're my own family. Both of her kids, her husband. I don't even call him by his name anymore. Her husband I call Kuya, which in Tagalog means like older brother, or it's like a sign of respect for an older person, or an older man that isn't an uncle. So I call him Kuya. Like, he's in my phone as Kuya. When I talk about them to other people, yes, I talk about Kuya. If you're watching this, I talk about you to my friends because you're hilarious and you're exactly like me, which is why I love you. But I say Kuya. I don't say his name anymore. Like, it's instinct. So when I say my sister, I mean Crystal, and when I say Kuya, I mean her husband. And actually, the kid at the end of the last vlog was her son Dom, who's I call him my nephew. I know he's not my nephew by blood, but I was there the day after she gave birth. I took care of him when he was like 2 months old. I've changed his diapers. Like, that kid, I might as well be his tita. It's whatever. But and then they have a daughter, Leela, who I'm absolutely in love with. And you can ask my parents or my brother, like I do. I talk about them all the time. I talk about this, you know, Crystal and her family all the time. And I spend most of my time there, which I know is an issue for my parents because they're like, I just moved back home in June. So my parents are just kind of like, you moved back, but we haven't seen you lately. Why do you spend so much time at Crystal's? And I'm just like, you know, Can't help it. It's weird because I really do believe she is my sister. She's taken care of me since high school. She's been there for me. And we did, like sisters do, go through a rough patch where we didn't talk for about 2, maybe 3 years. And I like to call those the dark ages. And I feel like the reason we spend so much time together now is to make up for that time too. Like, not only, I mean, we enjoy each other's company. We never tire. We enjoy each other. I mean, you know, we enjoy each other's company. We're always laughing. We never run out of things to talk about. We don't get tired of each other. And you would think if you saw somebody that often, you would probably get tired of them. Like, I know you get tired of your parents if you see them every day. You get tired of your siblings when you see them every day. But we don't. We'll probably hit that point sometime, maybe. I don't even know if that's possible. But she's my big sister, and I love her to death. I love her family to death. And I do consider them to be my family too. I'm like the adopted third child that's kind of her sister too. I don't think I'm using these quotes right. I've talked about more about Crystal and her family than I have my own family. So let's give them some attention. I have my brother. My brother is one of the funniest people I know, but he never talks to other people. Like, when he's here at home, he will talk and talk and talk, and he is sassy. People don't realize how sassy my little brother is, because when he's around other people, he's just like, yo, cool. My brother doesn't talk. Well, he does. Like there was this one instance a few weeks ago where, I don't know how many of your families do this, but like when one kid is in trouble, or your parents want to have a serious talk with one kid, they'll bring the siblings in to make like an example of the first kid. I was the first kid. And my parents were asking me about my plans for the future and for college and university and grad school and whatever. And of course they turned to Matthew, my brother, and they go, what about you? What are you gonna do? And he was just like, I don't really know. I guess I'm gonna be I don't know. And they were like, you should be a doctor. You should want to be a doctor. And he was just like, I don't know. That sounds really difficult. And I go, but Matthew, you can be a doctor of dance. Literally, like, he was just like, oh yeah, all right. So the day goes on, and we're going home, and it somehow came up again when he was just like, yeah, no, he's like, I know what I'm going to be. I am going to be a doctor of dance. And of course my parents and I just start laughing at him, and he's like, in a totally serious voice, he's just like, guys, stop laughing at my dreams. Another example of how sassy my brother can be is we were watching this news segment once a while ago. It was like, I think in the middle of summer, and they were talking about how texting while walking can be dangerous because you're not aware of your surroundings. They've shown people, falling off of the train platforms where you're supposed to be waiting because they were texting, or people walking through the street and almost getting hit by a car because they were texting. Well, there was this one part of the segment where, during this segment, there was one instance where they were showing a video, and there's a guy walking down, it looked like a residential area, texting and not looking where he was going. Apparently, this particular day, a bear had gotten loose or was wandering around the neighborhood, and the guy was texting and walking right towards the bear, not realizing what was going on. And my brother goes, so what I learned today is that if I text, I'll get eaten by a bear. Honestly, one of the funniest people that I know, and it kind of sucks that nobody really knows because he's so quiet. I mean, I could go on and on about how much I love my family, whether it is Crystal and her family or whether it's my biological family. I mean, I know my parents would do anything and everything to make sure that I'm happy. And I mean, they're just as ridiculous too. I'm not going to share any funny stories about them because it's embarrassing on their part and I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, I'm still scared of my parents at 23. So, but anyone that knows me knows that my parents are hilarious and they're adorable and they're my parents, I love them to death. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my parents and my family and just because they are one of the most important things in my life. I mean, they have had such a huge impact on me. And when I say family, like, I don't just mean blood relatives, obviously, because I include Crystal, but like family to me is anyone that's been there for me in a significant way. I mean, I consider my titas and titos that have known me since I was a baby to be my family. Like, there are people, like, if I've grown up with you, most likely I consider you my family. And I mean, my Payad kids, I consider them family. And I just realized I don't think I've mentioned Payad here. Let's talk about Payad on Thursday.
Thanks for watching. What else?